Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I greet you in Jesus' name. Wherever you are listening to me from, the Lord be with you. The Lord bless you. I listened to a very chilling and touching story of Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, the pastor. And, sometimes many occasions, people have been, misrepresented, people have been criticized. A lot have been said wrongly about certain people. Some stories, false stories have been written and said about people, but when you hear them talk, you would marvel. Even though I never knew that he had marital issues, but listening to him, I felt very, very, sad for his story. And when you listen to him, you know that he is truly a child of God and not that he wanted this to happen. I really want you to listen to him. He granted an interview to Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo. You actually need, I don't have anything to say. I have nothing at all to say to what he said here. And at the end of the day, I'll just, ask you a question. Who was at fault? Was it him? Was it the woman? Was it the pastor that actually played a very good role? Was it the devil? Please, I know, irrespective of your denomination, you need to be liberal in your heart. And because if you read the Bible very well, actually, you may have a different notion. I'm not in support of divorce. And when you listen to him too, you would see that he's never encouraging anybody to go for divorce, because divorce is never easy. Apart from the spiritual implication of it, the spiritual aspect of it is not that sweet. So nobody's advocating for divorce here. But before you judge him, maybe you have been typing this pastor that divorced his wife. Listen to his story first. And at the end of the day, you may find out whether you are right, you have been right or wrong all this while. Please, thank you so much. And don't forget to share, like, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so before, as I hope that I will not receive a copyright strike also for this. God bless you. I'm just sharing it because the story is touching. See you at the end of the video.
You are welcome to the End Time Truth Television, the channel for the lovers of truth, for the truth of the end time. So if you are a lover of truth, give us a subscription and God bless you. Shalom.
There are some things I will not be able to say just to protect them. So I got born again as a teenager, became pastor at the age of 21. I got married in 1997. Now, the person I got married to, I was her third husband.
Wow.
So this information is coming to the public domain for the first time. Because when you said this, I said, this man one day will bring out all these things. Say, but let's go and see how we can help people. Because when people don't know stories, a lot of people, I just kept quiet. I lost friends. I lost people. I lost all kinds. And people didn't know. And God said, keep quiet. I will fight for you. I will vindicate you. Because I'm a victim here.
Yes.
I'm a victim. What's all this? And then I realized that all this, when they say wounded soldier, we don't know how to take care of wounded soldier. So I met this wonderful, amazing daughter of Zion. And when I met with her, we started up as business partners and friends. And as business partners, I did not know much about a personal level. And then when we came in contact with each other and it was time to get married and I proposed to her, so we met. And in courtship, and I began to, I said, so who are you? That's when she now told me, okay, I'm not divorced, but I'm actually, I said, divorced? You mean you were married before? And she told me her story. First marriage, she got married and there was no sex, so the marriage was not consummated.
Yes.
Got married, on getting married, the guy could not perform. And when the guy could not perform, it led to, why can't you perform? Something must be wrong with you, something I still do last week. So actually the guy was having something to do with one of our chief bridesmaids and was still getting married to her. And that came out. Of course, it led to a lot of other things. The guy shot her. So bottom line, she came out of that first.
But all this according to her story.
According to her story.
Yes.
Yeah. So she gets out of that and they go to do what is called a dissolution of marriage. I did my investigation. I later met the brother of the guy. I did my investigation. I had to do my due diligence. And I collected the certificate. I said, so you get dissolution. I went to lawyer. Which one be dissolution?
Yes, what does it mean?
I said, no, a marriage that is not consummated, that is, it's not even, so it was not consummated. So when I did my due diligence. Second marriage, they've done the normal, what do you call the traditional Nigeria, whatever. And at that one, I knew about that because I knew that she said she was going abroad to go and get married and all those stuff. And then she came back, marry again. So they were to get married. And this guy is a pastor in a major denomination here in Nigeria. And the denomination is all this holy denomination.
Yeah.
So before they could allow the guy is a pastor, to marry her, they said, look, we must be sure. So they did investigation like I was now doing. And I went back to that same church again.
Yeah.
I booked an appointment. It took me to see that GO say, come, this person said,
yes,
you are aware of this. And he said, yeah, that they did that. So I did my due diligence because I don't believe in all this judgment. So I said, okay, my first one, second one. These are none of your faults. It's not as if you did anything wrong.
Yeah.
So the second one.
So let's pause. Hold on.
Yeah.
So what this means is that, because we're going to get to that towards the end, but I just want to mention it. If somebody's going to remarry after a divorce or marry a divorcee, there are certain things they need to do, right? Yeah. So we'll get to that. I just wanted to mention that. So at the end, we'll address that.
Yes. Yeah. So she goes there, and the guy is, before she left, she has a business. So before she leaves, the guy said, don't worry, when you come, we'll still be doing your business. And then she gets there and the guy shoots the goalpost. Number one, you have to shut down your business in Nigeria. Number two, my sister said they went to consult one prophet and they said you cannot have a child. So since we have done traditional, you need to get pregnant
before we
go ahead to the next level. I said, no, I can't do that. So and that's how she came back. That's how the second one. So these are the stories. So now, in what way has she done anything wrong? That God
she deserves to suffer,
her,
yes.
that she deserves to suffer and not be blessed by a good man like Olumide. You understand now? So I show up and I hear all these things. And by virtue of my own experience, by virtue of my journey with God, I knew that, no, she's not there. I prayed that I knew, and we went ahead and got into the relationship. But the very minute the relationship started, I started noticing things. I realized that she was in the prison of her past. I realized that insecurity was a major issue. I realized that her experience has damaged her. And she was not yet healed from that trauma. By virtue of the fact that this is my area, I knew what to do. I could help her, but she took succor in religion because she was doing all these prayer points. Well, I need to make it public that we actually got married in MFM. So to let you know the kind of, so I need to be public. I got married to her in MFM. The G of MFM is involved, in all these things. So to understand, so she was prayer, 100 prayer points, 200 prayer points. I said, I believe in prayer, but what you need is not prayer that will solve it. So that becomes like, what do you mean? No, we have been around. We have been praying. This one is not about prayer. You need help. You need help. You need help. And it was like, no. So at a point, there are some things she did that I was like, wow. And like you say, don't let your neck suffer for the sin of your ex. I'm like, wow. This is the way. And I said, look, I love you. I believe it's of God. But this one, it can't work because, I'm the one speaking now. She's not yet to speak for herself. So I don't want to say things that will make it seem as if you're trying to denigrate somebody. But she did something that was like, wow, it was a high level of abuse. And I'm like, what? You mean, no, I can't take this. That if that's the case, let me just move on with my life and all this. All this is before marriage. Before marriage. Oh, later on, I'm sorry. So we went ahead. On wedding day, she walked out of the wedding.
Wow.
Because people don't know all these stories. But I just want to use it to help people. It's my story to share. And I'm doing it for the first time openly, globally. I don't know why, but I believe it's just God that wants us to. So now she walked out of the wedding. There are people that were there. And why did she walk out of the wedding? To see where religion destroys people's life. We didn't do, of course, I've preached it. I don't do reception. I don't do it. It's waste of money. Wedding gown and all those things. We got, so there was, I'm the firstborn of my family. So my parents are saying, you are the firstborn. And my mother will call, so I can't do what I don't have because I have learned a lot of things by virtue of my own work. I've seen the fathers, all these people, because I was the director of mission for Maurice Olo from 1992. All the fathers of faith, I was in meetings with them, sitting down as the secretary, typing and hearing the things that they don't say on the pulpit. So before I ever got married, I already knew that my children must be born in America. It was already a software inside me. So I said, look, this one. So that was my own vision, American picking. So that at least they will get American passports out. So we don't born picking for Americans in 1990. So
when it wasn't,
we are the one that started about because that was what I saw that many of the fathers were talking behind the scene. So that was my own focus. So when they say, you are the firstborn, we have to do reception. I said, no problem, you can do. We'll come and visit you people. That was what we went to do. And as we were coming in, my mother came out and, hey, our wife has come. Oh. She just flipped. No, mommy, I'm not your wife. I'm my husband's wife. Upbringing, culture, messages. That's the way they say, they will now say our wife. Will now become a wife of a compound, and they will now pour water for you to match on evil water. So my mom said, no, this is Jesus' house. There's no evil water here. No. But I felt like, what's this? Before people, you are just coming to him. So when we got this, I said, why till they do you now? Which evil water? I be man of God, you be woman of God. This is a Christian. Which one be? Our wife is just a Greek. Say, no. I don't know. In fact, why we here? She be wife said, we're not doing that. She just turned around and said, I'm leaving. She didn't spend 10 minutes there. Wedding day. Oh.
Wow.
Because people do. And she walked out.
Wow.
And of course, I said, what's that? If you leave, you know, means that they do Africa, but if you leave, my mother came to me and said, you are living here. This is not your house. Oh. Yeah. Like your wife has gone. You have to follow your wife. You are a man now. You are married.
Wow.
Follow your wife.
Wow.
The people that were there are still alive. That's the marriage. That's the beginning of a marriage. For the next 10 years, it was a combination of all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. And as a young man, I was 27 or 28 when I got married. As a young man, there were many things that I began to see. So when people don't understand, wisdom for single, your ministry is born out of your misery. I was doing amazingly well, campuses, and when I saw, I said, hey, you mean you can be so anointed? You can, and then you will still end up in marriage and come and fail and fail. I need to go and rescue the next generation so that I can begin to teach them practical things that church is not talking about. Yes. That's what led to wisdom for singles. That's why when people started hearing, they're like, who be this man? What kind of message? Because I was dealing with issues. If you want to marry a firstborn, you want to marry a lastborn, if you want to marry somebody that is I was dealing with real issues
that was born out of your own tough experiences.
Because look, this woman, till tomorrow, I have not been able to reach a level of prayer. Till tomorrow, as a man of God, this woman prays an average of 3 hours every night, 3-4 hours. In the 9+ years of that marriage, even in America, even in London, she has never slept from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. before. Never. That level of consistency in prayer. Wow. If I get that one, I'll be greater than the greatest. I'm telling you, the level of, but upon all that prayer, I believe that prayer will change you first.
Yes.
Before it can. So, but the prayer is die, be destroyed. This is not prayer. These are not. So it was a major, all kinds of things that we cannot go into. And at the end of it all, the abuse was heavy. I can't go into all the details, but the abuse was heavy. Physical abuse, all manner of is terrible. And I will say this one. So in that marriage, if I don't get slapped, let me just be on the minimal side. In 9 years, maybe like 6 slap. Now imagine it as you open
a full-grown man,
like full-grown man. A full-grown man. Now let me now tell you this is the overseer of the Dr. Luka is still alive. It's a public thing. At least between us, he's a man of God. He can say the truth. That crisis I was telling you that before marriage, were coming from Dr. Lukaya's office when she went to introduce me to him for the first time. Said, this is the person. And there were some things that happened, which I don't want to go into. That when I got there, I expressed those things because I didn't know the man before. Yeah. So when I got there and I saw crowd, I saw the chair, and I didn't Lagos. I said, you mean say this guy taught this Lagos? My normal man of God said, man, this guy did Lagos, this. But when I got there, I saw some of the prayers. While we were waiting, they were praying some prayer. And there was a place where they have the gospel of our God. Give me not poverty, give me control. And they were praying, God, I don't want to prosper. I come against spirit of, I don't want money. I said, this is not the interpretation of that scripture. My normal Bible self, now put me for trouble. So when we got in, I was expecting, the way you see a great, when we enter, Dr. Luka, one of the most humblest man of God in this world, even calls her auntie, her name, man of God, you're welcome. I said, now, person who will come see, now they greet us like this, so I became relaxed. Bless you, man of God. We got relaxed. We began to say, so how is everything? So as we just say, he asked a lot of questions. I said, hey, man of God, tell your people that scripture that they could not be so. That was my mistake. That scripture not be so. And then when we were going also, she was saying that the man may ask, when are you getting married? That we should not say we are fixed, so that you will not see and say we fix it without him. I said, no, we are matured now. Now just tell him straight, this is what we are looking at. If he now has an option, we take the option. So when we got there, the guy asked the question. I said, well, we're actually looking at this date. Yes, so that but your father, whatever. He said, no, whatever you guys are, this is good, it's good, it's good. So when we entered the car on our way, I will never forget, Trem, Antonio Oke, were in the car. From we left Yaba, where my friend used to be there, to that place. She didn't say what. I'm like, babe, what's happening now? But you're not even talking. So when we got to that Antonio Oke, almost getting to where I would drop her in Bagada, she just turned to me. You are so arrogant. All this Bible. You think, which Bible do you think you know? Which Bible? I say, but what did I do? Say, I told you somebody is my father. You went there. You are just relaxed. Just open your mouth anyhow. You are talking about God, gospel of our God. You are quoting scripture. What church do you have? How many members do you have? She was finishing me. that you got there. This is 40,000 members to your 300 members. You can't even humble yourself. You are quoting scripture. I said, but what did I do? And I told you, don't mention date. You want to mention date. I said, but realizing me, you are talking to like that. Why was it? He said, keep quiet, I will slap you now. That's what she told me. I parked the car and told you, okay. Because I park. So I looked at her because all my life, my parents never slapped me. I look at her like this, born again, spirit filled. I said, sorry, repeat what you said now. So when I collect the slap, you don't tell me before now, me no hear. I will slap you now. I said, you will do what? You say, yeah, I say, I will slap you. What? I said, so you can actually slap. You will look at a whole man like me, you will carry and slap as you this small. So if I handle you, I go pieces you like this. Yeah. I said, so you, I said, no, this is it. That's, I said, I've been telling you that you need help. That this manifestation now, do you think this is a Christian behavior? You need help. And I can help you. But this thing, I can't help you to the detriment of myself. So I got back, and of course, no GSM, no. So everything handed over. I said, it's over. So I went that was maybe like a Thursday or Friday. So I went after service on a Sunday to go and say, okay, these are all the things, this one that came through this because some things came as a result of, oh, yeah, let's help the man of God. So they brought a lot of stuff. So let me return everything, let me move on with my life. Yeah. That Sunday, I left church, got to the house, and met them, the family. They were crying. So immediately I got in, and I just said, he's here. Everybody jumped up. So, what's happening here? I'm sorry. So I began to cry. What's happening? I don't know. Say this is. So the last, of course, no GSM. Things have gone. They have come family. This one don't go. The one with say miracle don't come home. What happened? So when she went to church that Sunday, she met with Dr. Luka. He's alive. That's why I'm putting it in the public domain. She went to Dr. Luka. So when the Bible says God has sons, these are men of God that I have worked with, that I know that these are real men of God. She went to Dr. Luka after service that Sunday and said, this is what happened. And Dr. Luka said, you have made the greatest mistake of your life. That is your husband. That anything you can do to get that man, that if you miss that man, you are gone. That I have been in ministry all my life. That this is the first time that, didn't you see the way he was relating with me? Not all this, yes sir. All those things she was fighting against was what the man used to validate me. That can't you see that he even saw my people misquoting the scripture and he was telling me to go and correct them. He said, I went to actually do that and I discovered they were wrong. And that for him to come and see the magnitude of the work and still be able to stand for truth, that tells you the kind of man of integrity and standard and value that he is. You see, when I asked him when are you people getting married, he didn't say about the spirit. He went straight to the point. He knew exactly what he wanted. He said, he has gone. And doctor prayed with her and said, before the end of tonight, if I be a man of God and God spoke to me that this is your husband, he will return by himself. He will use his leg to walk back into your house today. And I walked back. So I said, so even though I had that experience, I'm like, that was like, okay, we are Christians. Yeah. Maybe that was, it was one that said, okay, this thing is too real for me. And it is upon that. Because people may say, hey, but you saw. Well, that is why I now preach, never with a warning signal. These are, because I sat down, because many times history repeats itself when people refuse to learn from history. And in order to learn from history, it's not that you experience it, it's that you document it. For history not to repeat itself, three things must happen. Number one, what went wrong? You must document it, as in paper and biro or tab. What mistakes did I make? Because I'm not perfect, I made mistakes. Yes. What mistake did I make? I have my own mistakes. So you document it. What lessons have I learned? If you don't answer these three questions, you will repeat the same thing. Wow. These are the processes that leads to healing. Wow. So, of course, at the end of the day, many. So I needed to bring that one. I don't want to bring the other thing, but I can stand before the whole world to say, I am clean by the grace of God, not because I'm perfect. Never lifted a hand. So all those things that leads to abuse, I never did one. She did. Just and so I didn't do any because I never abused. I never abandoned. She left the house by herself. Got home one day, the house was empty. She was gone. And I called Dr. Luka, the same Dr. Luka. I said, doctor, I'm at home now, the house is empty. Say, I say yes. Okay, hold on. Called and called back. I said, and that's how we started trying to meet these all fathers of faith, did all kinds of things. But I did my part and that was it. And I realized because, life is lived forward but understood backwards. When I was in school, this wisdom thing, God just helped me to just because I've been reading one proverb a day since the days of the 80s. So wisdom is my major core. God give me wisdom, give me wisdom. When I was in school, one of our lecturers in the late 80s got divorced. But is this religion divorce? So the woman left. I was in Ilaro. The woman left and moved to Abeokuta. And one day, about 8 years after the divorce, I got to know that the man had divorced. So I said, so when you say you have divorced, I said, what do you mean by divorce? He said, she left. I said, have you gone to court? Have you settled? He said, no. As a Christian, I believe you. I said, well, she has remarried and she already has 2 children. Yeah. So what are you still waiting for?
Yeah.
So I told him that day, and it became a controversial issue on campus. I said, sir, you are making a great mistake. I said, let me tell you something. I said, if you don't close that door, you won't be open to another door. I said, you'll be shocked that the day you now want to marry, this woman may show up and you are still married to her. 14 years after that separation, after 3 children, 2 in 1, another 1 child, when the man now wanted to marry, this woman showed up that she's her husband. Wow. I was in my church 1996. When they said someone wanted to see, when he came, my lecturer, he said, I just came to see you. He said, I'm in trouble now. I want to marry that woman. That thing when you stuck that time is happening. So when this one happened, I knew. Yes. So I just called my lawyer, look at the laws of Nigeria, look at everything, call every family member. So I waited once everything. I just say bye-bye. So it was good for me because I freed myself. So I'm the one that filed for divorce. Okay, but wait. Before you filed for divorce, you guys had sessions with Dr. Olukoya? Dr. Olukoya, Bishop Oyedepo. So it wasn't a flippant, it wasn't just a careless... My family went to the family, they returned out, they said, did you come to pick your daddy? Locked my parents out, sent them back home, they got to Lagos around 3 a.m. It's messy. Brother is a pastor, I sat down with everybody, said, look... Because it's important to say this, because people think it's just... So let me just say this, because you see, as a pastor, I stand to be corrected, but you see, I like to be, I apply wisdom in a lot of things that I do. And the major reason is that I had to protect myself. So when the whole thing had come to a point where I knew that this thing, I now started to record conversations for evidence, because I knew that the church would crucify me. Yes. The narrative is that, he leave his wife, the marriage, I knew that the narrative would become my portion. I already knew the way the church worked. So I needed to protect myself so that serious-minded people that are really interested, if they come to say, I say, look, this is the truth, this is it. So I did those. So what they were now saying is that if you claim that you want restoration, first delete this thing first. Then we come in and say, no, I know go. That's the mistake. That's the sin that everybody has against me. So I say, no, if there is restoration, then not that to cause remove. I can't remove the thing upon which I'm standing. That when my children show up tomorrow, I can say, look, you are not too young to read. This is it, this video, this audio, to show that I didn't do anything. So so we did everything we needed to do. Yeah, because important people might just think, you just walk out, any small issue you walk out. In 1990, so the marriage ended 2005. From 2005, it was evident. She packed out in June 2006, and that was it. So it's a painful. Man, I cried though. Get back home. Even freezer empty. You know those kind of things. Library, where books they, you just meet empty shelf. People don't know the pain of divorce. At a point, my brother, I've been driving. I've never had accident until that time. I go to drive for Lagos. You know, getting born again as a teenager. All my life has been a Christian. Wisdom for singles. People all over the world know you for relationship. The thing when you can't claim, say, I ain't God call you to do. That's where you know, conscious, say, physician, heal thyself. And I'll be driving like this, and I'll just be crying. I won't know. It is when I will hit somebody. Wow. I hit the one. I just hear boom. That's when I woke up to say, what's happening? You was on there. I go just wonder they will see me crying. Oh, sorry, Mr. Man, take care of yourself. Whatever you are going through, they go. At that point, now my friends, Sam say, you will just die. They will say you better go and get a driver. I say, I'm not a driver. That's how to get to. I say, any time I want to just be driving me. I had to go for my own therapy. I had to go through my own healing process. It's not easy. Do you know what it means? There were times, because I love cooking. I cook. I take my children to school. I do school run. I do homework. I'm a hands-on dad. Do you understand? And to now come home, nobody's there. You're all alone. There are times that I will cook 2 jerrycans of rice, and I'm the only one at home. Wow. So all this divorce, better don't enter divorce. It's not something you should do. So I will cook 2 jerrycans of rice. Yes. I go don't cook finish. Serve 4 plates. Put for table. Wow. Only to discover, so Olumide, you are the only one in this house. Man of God, with mental health issue. So when we are talking now, no be today. The boldness, the audacity with which I can finish you is to say, come out of that foolishness. Don't let church kill you. Don't let religion kill you with all this hypocrisy. I go serve food for 4 people. There be spirit. There be spirit. Serve food for 4 people. One day, my daughter was 8 years old and came and said, Daddy, don't mind mommy. She doesn't know what she's doing. Let's keep praying for her. The same daughter I have not seen till tomorrow. If I see my daughter on the road now, I probably will not recognize her. If I see my, so now people don't understand the pain of divorce.
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
I have 2 children that I labor, that American labor to passport down. And then now, imagine now, I can't see them. I don't know where they are. I'm now a bad man. Because many times women don't know the destruction they give to the children. Every effort, everything is painful. So even today, now people say, the children. Now fine, I go talk now.
Yeah,
but if you say, so which school are they going to now? I can't answer that question. That is the stigma and the scar I'm still bearing to today. So I have a 10-year-old boy now. So I remarried 7 years later. We have a boy now. He's 10 years old. And this boy, I have to be. So the pictures of the 2 ones are there, and the boy will say, where's my brother, my sister? You say, I'm the 3rd born. When he was 4, he came, the wife said, you're picking on the ask question. I said, no, we have to tell him the truth. He went to the mom and said, Mommy, I am your only child. But they said, Daddy has 3 children. Daddy said, I have brother and sister. Where are my brothers? I've never seen them in this house. And my wife will say, oh, they are coming. We are praying, they are coming. They are in America. Look at all those kind of stress that you are going through. The boy will now come. Now imagine that the picture that is on the wall was picture of 8 and 6 when he was born. He is 10 now. He has become bigger than the picture on the wall. And a girl of 25 and boy of 23. And you are now 10. You are bigger than them. And they are supposed to be your senior. How do you think that deals with a small 10-year-old boy?
Yeah.
The divorce is a generational thing. The scar, my son now is facing that. People don't know that. So I'm around now doing the will of God, but I've not seen my 2 children, my first fruit, my daughter and my son. I've not seen them now for years. Why? Because I will show you. I will show you. Yes. I will show you. I will make them hate you. I will wipe your memory from their mind. I will do all kinds of things that you have gone through. And people don't know all those stuff. Every effort at the point for my own mental health. I say, God,
just relax.
I cast my body onto you. I hand over to you. We were in America. We were all in America together. And we came back. And my son came and said, Dad, I don't understand that. I don't think I like my brother and my sister anymore. I said, what? He said, we spent 1 month in America. They couldn't even come to see me. That we didn't see them. How do you keep explaining that? So do you know that till today, some people will see me and be asking for asking for my ex. Wow, yes. They don't know anything has happened. These are the things you have to go through. You have to face. So don't jump into divorce as if it's one.
Yes, it's
because
an easy...
people are destroying the family value. They are making light of marriage. No, marriage is of God. Marriage is beautiful. Yes. Marriage should not be toyed with. That's what we are here talking about. But we are saying don't let religion lead you into something that God did not say. Divorce is not the sin. Remarriage is not the sin. And that's why we're trying to help you understand that. So there are stigmas. There are things you have to face in order to be able to... You know, I've written books. So how do you write books? It took almost about 5 to 6 years. You know, my books are all over the world to replace books with another name, another profile. Even last year, I went to somewhere and the person said, Pastor, you have some books here. I said, I have books here. You know, when you came the last time, you left it that because of extra luggage. There are 2 small bags here. When they brought it out, I said, well, just share it in your country. Share it, give it out. Because how do you bring, after 17 years of bringing a book with another person's name? It's messy. It's messy. I'm a pastor. People will come to church now. I'm pastor in the church. I have a son. And they say, Pastor has 3 children. And people will come to church and pastor is there with 1 child and a wife. And people will be looking and say, okay, where is this man, other children now? And then they go say, the man, first speaking at 20-something, this woman don't be like person born 20-something. Yeah. So every year, in 1998, in 2008, because after everything was done, I knew that it's time to come public to the church. In 2008, we have our annual camp meeting every November. In 2008, we're all crying. I gathered all the pastors in the camp and said, guys, we have done everything. You guys know the truth, you know everything, but I cannot allow my personal life to become your cross. You guys have been with me all my life, but this is my cross to bear. January 2009, I'm going to announce to the church because it's over. Divorce, everything. I filed for divorce. So there's no going back now. I'm going to announce. Once I announce, church may scatter. I'm ready to start all over again. God has assured me that because when the OT, I get recording, my brother. Recording, dangerous recording that, I get recording. I was ready because in those days, city people, do you know city people is my cousin? My own cousin. The guy, they go carry news and come home. You know, they go carry. I will be reading news about, there's a pastor, he does singles ministry. I'll be one that say, which pastor be this one? I don't know. Hey, he has a church, and then he took the wife's money, built a church, and abandoned the wife, and married the secretary. His church is in the Imu areas. I never marry you. I not do anything. You will hear stories. Pastors, people I bought land for. In this Lagos, by the grace of God, I have paid for land for not less than 14 churches. Musical equipment, drum, keyboard, everybody, because everybody wants to save their ministry.
Yeah, they will run.
People that every year I'm training them, preaching for them, everybody just disappear. As far as they are concerned, you don't finish. So I say, God, I cannot. Let me tell people. Let me do press conference. Let me release the audio. Let me release the God. This pain is too much. I can't do this. I've lived for you. I've been living in integrity. I'm a victim here. And I'm a Bible person. And every time I go back to the Bible, say, and Joseph thought in his mind to put her away
Privately.
So we have gotten to this point, and if you have watched till this point, I just want to ask your honest opinion. If this pastor was your brother, or if you're a man and you happen to be in his shoes, and remember that he was not the one that chased the woman away. The woman walked away out of his life like that. And, the Bible says something. If you are married to, somebody will say, oh, but that is an unbeliever. You're married to a person and they are willing to stay with you, stay. But if they walk away, don't hold them back. Don't hold them down by force. The Bible is very, very clear and very open as per dealing with these issues. But I just want you to, I'm needing your opinion now. Brother, sister, don't seek for divorce. Don't just seek for divorce because maybe you have stopped liking the person. You have stopped loving the person. And the truth is that you are to love the person you have married. That is the standard. Build love. Play your roles well in the family. If you're a woman, be submissive. If you're a man, be responsible. Now, do the things you're supposed to do. Don't usurp positions. Don't take over the position of the man. And you, man, don't be so abusive. Don't think that the woman is a piece of property, a piece of wood. Now, respect is reciprocal. And when everything is in place, marriage is sweet. But when, these things are not there, man, the worst kind of abuse is emotional abuse. And men go through that a lot. So many women have lost their lives anyway, So these things, sometimes we make it look like it is one-sided. It is never one-sided. Only that when a man is the one maltreating the woman, it gains more sympathy. The woman gains more sympathy than when the woman is the one maltreating the man. Now, for instance, when a man rapes a woman, it becomes, a news. It becomes, people accept it, people believe it. But when a man reports that a woman raped him, it is unusual. Now, it is funny, of course. I had a story of a young man that went to police station. He was raped by 3 women at gunpoint. And at the end of the day, he went to the police station to report. And guess what the police officer he met did? The police officer laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed and was like, oh boy, I beg, where are these women? I too want to be raped. Sounds, funny, right? But that is just it. I asked the question, whose fault was it? Was it the woman? Was it the woman's fault? Was it the man's fault? Was it the devil's fault? And all these things, when evil happens, we don't leave out the devil in it. But sometimes, people also contribute. And yielding to the devil is the sin. The man made a vital point that the woman never healed from her past experiences, and she never wanted to be helped. Now, there is this kind of religiosity that is very, very destructive. And I've met a lot of people that are so religious. People I know, beloved people, wonderful people, but when it comes about them and their religion, you will almost want to say, who created this one? So I guess that was part of the problem that the woman had. And sometimes, majority of us that go to holiness preaching churches, we tend to be at times very, 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 very strict, very, very, unyielding, and so strict that even when the Lord is not offended, when the Lord is not, it is not a sin. Because of our mindset, religious mindset, we hold onto it tenaciously, and at the end of the day, we end up regretting. Now, look at the incident that happened when the man visited Dr. Olukoya for the first time. That's how you know a servant of God. Now, Olukoya was impressed that irrespective of the size of the environment he saw, man was so bold, still bold enough to interact with him as in openly with her, without a kind of bowing, and was able to point out an error that he saw. And Olukoya, with the humility he has, went to find out and discovered that what he said was true. But the woman was fighting him for not honoring Daddy G.O. That is the problem of the majority of us. Listen, divorce is not is not the first option. But hey, instead the marriage will kill you, walk away. You can separate first. Give yourself chance. You give yourselves time. Think about it. Instead, you will become another Osinashi. Or so many men have been dying, but we don't know their names. Don't know their names. So if life is threatened, if mental health, is threatened, then I don't think there is any more relationship. Something needs to be done. But anyway, thank God is alive and telling the story. Before you pass judgment on him, please just sit down and ask yourself certain questions and actually go through the scriptures and find out just if. Remember, Jesus dealt with a man that puts his wife away, not a man whose wife walked out of his life, leaving it open. God bless you. I will see you in the next video. Till then, from me to you. Shalom.